Greetings, family. KSOL Black Talk Radio, the new black media. Family, I've always had concerns about American missionaries, especially those who go to Africa, because every time American missionaries or white culture goes to Africa, they always seem to come back with something detrimental to the people, to the environment, and they always claim that it came from Africa. Anything negative, they always claim that it comes from Africa, but it's always a coincidence. It's always a coincidence that they're the ones who always find these things. Anyways, this story is about this American missionary who is being charged with the killings of black children and babies. She claims she's innocent. Well, family, an American missionary accused of contributing to African babies' deaths by treating them for malnutrition, despite not being a doctor, has hit back at the women for suing her. Now that's bold. This woman right here, she's not even a doctor. Their babies are dead, and she has the nerve to try to fight back. That's a lot of nerve. That's like a black woman or black man claiming to be a doctor, killing off white babies, and then the white people deciding that they want to sue the black person, and the black person says, nah, you have a lot of nerve to try to sue me. That's exactly what she's doing here. The difference is she's white doing this, and so she's trying to get away with murder, literally. But I digress. I'm going to stick with the story. Renee Bach, 35, is from Virginia, but moved to Africa when she was a teenager to work as a missionary. In 2009, she set up the SHC clinic, which is the Serving His Children clinic, in Masisi to treat children and babies who were close to death because of malnutrition. In a lawsuit filed in January at the High Court in Jinja, mothers Gimbo Zubida and Kakai Annette alleged that she caused their babies' deaths and the deaths of dozens more. Annette gave birth to a boy in 2017, but she says he was snatched from her by Bach and the clinic. Quote, my son, Elijah Benjamin, would be 2 years old today had he been alive. I delivered him at Jinja Hospital on January 21st, 2017. I feel his life was snatched from my arms by the actions of Miss Renee Bach, she said. They are demanding that her facility be shut down and are asking for damages. But in a lengthy response to the suit to dailymail.com, Bach insists she had nothing to do with the deaths or those of any others. Her attorney admitted that she assisted nurses in some cases, but would not say which procedures she ever performed. Well, family, before I continue, I want you to remember that part that I just said, that her attorney admitted that she assisted nurses in some cases, but would not say which procedures she ever performed. I always find that suspect when an attorney or someone else speaks up for the suspect, and in this case, this is the suspect, Renee Bach. She is the perpetrator right here, who's doing these actions that has caused the deaths of these black babies. But her attorney says that she only assisted nurses in some cases, but would not say what procedure she ever performed. Well, how are you going to even make that statement and you don't even know what procedures she ever performed? Don't you find that suspect, family? I do. That's why I wouldn't believe nothing that they say. These are shenanigans and ways that they try to cover for them to get off. And that's exactly what I feel that's happening here as I read this story. But I digress. Photographs which surfaced online before the lawsuit show her wearing a stethoscope to treat kids. Oh, look, on your screen, there it is. There's that stethoscope that she's using to treat kids. She's not a doctor. What is she doing trying to look like one or pretend like she's one? This picture is a problem. Guess what, family? You know that they scrubbed all these photographs and pictures off their websites, and including hers. Yep, but it's too late because these are already surfaced and they're already made known. So when this lawsuit comes about, hopefully all of these are presented because they're actual proof that shows her guilt. But I digress. She claims one of the babies was never treated at her clinic and claims she was out of the country when the other died. As if that matters. If you treated the child, whether you were in the country or not, that's your responsibility. That child was under your care. Again, you are the issue here. So, the civil lawsuit filed against Ms. Bach is entirely without merit and will be vigorously answered in court. No, it's not. It's not entirely without merit. It is entirely with merit. And these pictures are very telling. One of the children in the lawsuit was never treated by Serving His Children, SHC, the organization. The other child was treated at Serving His Children while Ms. Bach was not in Uganda. Again, these are shenanigans. That does not matter. If it's the same facility that she runs, she's responsible for it. Case closed. It says, quote, "These sensational allegations are patently false and fail to recognize the 3,600 malnutrition children who have recovered because of the care and treatment provided by SHC," her attorney, David Gibbs, said on her behalf. Well, I don't think anyone is discounting the 3,600 children that she may have helped. Who knows? Who knows if she was even involved in those cases? Because whoever her attorney is just assuming that she was there. She might have been out of town on those situations as well. We don't know those facts. But you see, when they have dirty, conniving lawyers trying to speak on their behalf of their evil doings, they'll say things to make you believe certain things. But there's always another side of that story. And that's what I aim to always expose to you here on this channel. Her attorney added she was being attacked by reputational terrorists who had put her in danger by spreading these allegations. No, she actually put herself in danger by carrying out her duties and then those children dying, showing the African people that you don't know what the hell you're doing and that you shouldn't be there, period. That's what's been shown. The women say that they brought their children to Bach's facility under the impression that she was a medically trained professional. They claim she gave their children aid, but that despite her efforts, the children died. Afterwards, in 2015, they say they learned Bach had never been given medical training. Others have alleged malpractice in blog posts about the Virginian, claiming she sent children home after, quote, fattening them up without ensuring it was safe for them. So these malnutrition kids, she would just fill their stomachs up, fatten them up real good, and then she'd just send them off home as if that was medical aid, as if that was really doing something. But white people like her, who are young and dumb, who think they know everything, she thought that that was medical aid. Just fatten them up and then sending them home. Bach had admitted in the past that she has no medical training. So she's admitted in the past that she has no medical training, but claims the most she ever did to a child was give them an IV. You know, she shouldn't have been doing that even, because she might have been using unsterile, dirty needles, giving them some other type of diseases. And again, I've always had my concerns about American missionaries in Africa anyways. And unfortunately, these African people need help. but the people who are giving them help are the wrong people, in my opinion. Anyways, the allegations against the practice have been well documented in local media since last year when staff told local news station NBS rather, that it had changed its practices. But the lawsuit demands the facility be shut down entirely and says it is still accepting children for care despite being ordered to close down by the Department of Health in 2015. Crazy. So they are breaking the law, keeping this facility open. It was filed by the Women's Pro Bono Initiative. In a statement at the time, the group said, quote, "The mothers alleged that they were led to believe that Mrs. Renee Bach was a medical doctor and that her home was a medical facility, as she was often seen wearing a white coat, a stethoscope, and often administering medications to children in her care." This is a smoking gun, peoples. Quote, "When their children died, however, they were told that Miss Renee has no training at all in medicine and that in 2015 the district health officer had closed her facility and ordered her to not offer any treatment to any child. One of the group's members called it unacceptable narcissistic behavior. Quote, "By doing so, they misled unsuspecting, vulnerable members of the public," they said. Bach has been scrubbed from the facility's websites and it has deleted its social media pages. In a response to a 2018 article about the allegations, the organization said, "At no time has our founder, Renee Bach, presented herself as a medical professional, experimented on, or caused the death of any child." But yet, that's exactly what we see her doing in these pictures. Experimenting on a child, causing its death. Okay, having been trained by medical professionals to start IVs, Ms. Bach has in the past provided assistance in such procedures when requested and currently serves in an administrative capacity and participates in fundraising for the organization. The case is being urged on by a group called No White Saviors, which has been campaigning for Bach to be shut down for months. In an article published by Medium by one of its members last year, they described how Bach was giving children oxygen and other medical treatment and wrote about it in it now deleted blog post. So again, this case is well documented. Renee Bach, the Virginian American missionary, is sitting here lying. She's trying to cover up her failures that caused the deaths of black babies. I find this atrocious. It's horrific. This woman, this American missionary, again, is a prime example of why I always have red flags thrown up immediately when I hear the word American missionary, because these people, in my opinion, have not been no good for black people in Africa. They simply have not, in my opinion. They'll claim that they do all kinds of good things, but when you really look at the bigger picture, I want you to tell me and point out specifically how good are those things that they've done. The author, who is not named but describes themselves as a white American volunteer, said they met Bach in 2014. Quote, "Initially, I admired Renee for her sacrifice and tireless commitment to children battling malnutrition. It was not until January 2014 that my perspective really started to change," she said. She went on to describe how mock got him fat, how this Renee Bach got him fat and healthy, and then sent him home without so much as any consideration for the root cause of his malnutrition. Exactly. She just put a band-aid on him and kicked him out. Told him to go home. Quote, there was no follow-up, so he fell sick again. So sick that his body was not able to come back from it at this time. From it this time, she wrote. Later, she learned that the woman who also been practicing medicine on babies despite not having. Later, she learned that the woman had also been practicing medicine on babies despite not having any medical training. Quote, she had medical professionals on staff, but she herself, with no medical training, chose to actively treat and respond to serious medical needs of children in crises, she went on. It is unclear if she is still working at the facility or if she remains in Uganda. Bach first went to Uganda as an 18-year-old, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to finish this because now they're going into her personal life story. But family, I bring this to you, this important story to you, to show you that black people trusting white people, first of all, is a major, major concern. It's so problematic it's not even funny. And this isn't racist. These are facts because this is our well-being. We have every right to be concerned about what other people are doing to us. But this is an example of why I have concerns about American missionaries. I just don't like them. I've never trusted them. I've always had concerns of these people. Always. And so we hear from this author from the No White Saviors. I thought that they were actually trying to defend this woman. But in actuality, they're exposing her. Exposing her wrongdoings. And for that, I say kudos to you. I'm so glad someone is keeping up on what's going on. Anyway, this is KSOL Black Talk Radio. Hoping you like and share this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out. All I can tell you is these pictures are damning. And if shown in a court of law, she should be in jail.